Hello and welcome to the Making Musical Quantum Leaps podcast, where we're here to support you in taking your singing skills to the next level. I'm your host, Coach Worship, and I'm thrilled to have my co-host, Jamie, with me.
In this podcast, we'll take you on a 30-day podcast marathon, teaching you everything you need to know about diction for singers. Diction is the art of pronouncing words clearly and expressively, using your voice parts to make sound and speech.
Diction is essential for singers as it helps you share your message, emotions, and style with your audience. Each day, we will explore a different topic related to diction, such as vowels, consonants, syllables, stress, intonation, accent, dialect, and more. We will also give you practical tips and exercises to improve your diction and singing performance.
By the end of this podcast marathon, you will have a better understanding of how your voice works and how to use it effectively. So join us on this exciting journey of learning and singing. You can subscribe to our podcast on Spotify or on any other listening platforms. You can also follow us on Twitter at the Making Musical Quantum Leaps podcast, or email us at joinedenSchoolofSounds@gmail.com if you have any questions or feedback.
We're going to be your hosts for the 30-day podcast marathon, but would have amazing vocal coaches who would share their insights and experience on singing. Let us introduce them to you. First, we have Joel Okwegwale, a 25-year-old singer, songwriter, and vocal coach with 3 years of training experience. He is the founder of the Art of Singing Voice Training Academy, and he has trained singers from all over the globe. He's the writer of the book The Basic Art of Singing and the initiator of the vocal training tour around Nigeria, where he goes to different music groups in different states in Nigeria to teach them how to sing. Joel is an amazing vocal coach.
Second, we have Deacon Kelvin Izang, also known as K Vocals, a music director, vocal coach, gospel minister, and award-winning artist from Plateau State. He graduated from the University of Jos in 2019 with a B.Ed in English. He has won several awards, including Male Vocalist of the Year and Music Video of the Year for his song I Am That I Am at the Jos Merits Gospel Music Award in 2020 and Gospel Artist of the Year in 2021 under Jos Merits Award. He has successfully trained many music directors across Nigeria, and he was ordained as a deacon in RCCG by Pastor E.A. Adeboye in August 2022. He is also the youth pastor of RCCG Throne of Mercy area, Plateau Province 1.
Moving on into what we have for today. Today we'll just define some terms, tell you how important diction and pronunciation is to your singing. So what is diction and pronunciation? Diction and pronunciation are two aspects of vocal technique that are essential for singers to master. You see, diction refers to the clarity and the accuracy of the sounds that make up your words, while pronunciation refers to the rules and the conventions of how these words are spoken in a specific language or dialect. Both diction and pronunciation affect your vocal quality, your clarity, and expression as a singer. Let us define what vocal quality, clarity, and expression is. Now, vocal quality is the tone and timbre of your voice. By timbre, we mean the texture. You see, there are different ways people describe people's voices. You hear some people say things like, her voice is bright, her voice is hoarse, his voice has this dark texture, her voice is husky, this person's voice is metallic. That is what we call texture. So it depends on what your texture is. Vocal quality is basically your tone and your timbre, your texture. It can be influenced by how you shape your mouth, your tongue, and throat when you produce sound. For example, if you sit with a tight jaw, I would actually explain that in further classes. If you sing with a tight jaw and a tense tongue, your vocal quality may sound strained and muffled. On the other hand, if you sing with a relaxed and open mouth, your vocal quality will be more resonant and clear. I know you want to ask me what resonance is. We would also define that subsequently. Let's move on. Clarity. Clarity is the ability to articulate every sound and syllable distinctly so your listeners can actually understand what you're singing. You see, clarity depends on the correct use of your vowels and consonants. I cannot overly emphasize these two important factors of your speech, your vowels and consonants, as well as the appropriate use of your stress and intonation. You see, every language have the way they stress their words and how their intonation is. If you miss the rule for that language, you're singing something else and might actually mean something else. For example, if you sing with unclear vowels or weak consonants, your listeners, of course, they will find it difficult to distinguish between words that are similar. This is very obvious when you pronounce, for example, you are pronouncing a word like hair, somebody's hair, and you're pronouncing another word like air. Now, if you do not pronounce these words correctly, people will misunderstand when you say hair and air. For example, the Yoruba people have an issue with putting H where they are not supposed to put H and removing H where they are supposed to put H. Come on, that's just a problem. Imagine they're trying to say hair and they're saying hair. You wouldn't understand the difference between these two words, okay? So please, you have to take your vocal clarity very, very seriously. Moving on to expression. So what is expression? Expression is simply the way you convey emotions and your personality through your voice. It can be enhanced by the choice and the delivery of words. Expression depends on how well you understand and interpret your text, as well as the use of dynamics. Dynamics is simply the loudness and the softness of your voice. Phrasing is what I like to define as singing in context. Singing knowing that people are listening to you, knowing that you're singing sentences and not just sound. That's why I call phrasing. We'll define that clearly soon too. So, for example, if you sing with a monotone voice, there are people that their voices do not have variation. It's just like a wash line. I don't know how to further define. Where you spread your clothes, it's just straight. There's no variation in their singing. That can be a problem because your singing will be boring and your listeners will not be engaged. Okay, so there are common challenges and mistakes singers face when they're learning diction. Some of them are not even learning diction, but they face these challenges. And some of the challenges they face is singing in a foreign language that they are not familiar or fluent with. Everybody has this issue. It is normal, but you can overcome it. Another issue is singing with an accent or dialect you're not conversant with. For example, I'm a Nigerian and I hope to sing a song that was sung by a Black American. I would want to imbibe that accent, but probably because I'm not familiar with it, there will be kinds of issues. But like I said, you can deal with it. Another is poor breath control and vocal technique. This greatly affects also. We'll teach this further in class. So some quick tips, not like we're going to totally delve into it because we still have like 30 days to go. So some quick tips to how to handle this problems. Now you have to listen to the recordings or live performances of native speakers or professional singers who sing in the language or the style you want to learn. Pay attention to how they pronounce every word, how they stress each syllable, and how they intonate each phrase. Okay? It's very simple. Trust me. Just singing, it has to be intentional. Don't just sing what, pay attention, get it word for word. See, another tip is you can use dictionary. I know we do not like books, we don't like study as Nigerians. I don't know of other countries, but most of us do not like books. But please, especially when it comes to English, I know it is not the same. Diction for speaking and diction and pronunciation for speaking and diction and pronunciation for singing is slightly different, but trust me, a dictionary goes a long way. Okay, practice speaking and singing the lyrics slowly, clearly, focusing on each sound and syllable. Use a mirror or a recorder to see how you're moving your mouth, because every vowel has the way it should be mouthed. Okay, and another is, of course, that's why we have a group chat. So if you're listening to this podcast from any part of the world and you want to join the group chat, I'm going to leave a description I'm going to drop a link for the group so that you can join up, so that you can have feedbacks from vocal coaches, teachers, or people who are knowledgeable about the language or style you want to learn. Okay, so that'll be all for today, and we just have to see tomorrow and continue. There's so much we have to dive into. Okay, on final notes, Diction and pronunciations are very important skills for singers to develop and improve. You need to enhance your vocal quality, clarity, and expression as a singer. It will help you communicate more effectively and connect more deeply with your audience. So that'll be all for today. I remain your humble, lovable, amazing host, Coach Worship and Jimiel.
Now that was a lot, wasn't it? Victor Hugo once said, "Music expresses that which cannot be put into words and that which cannot remain silent." So you have something you want to say, you don't know how to say it, or you have something you want to say that has to be said. Music is the way, and your diction is very important. Our song for today is Million Little Miracles by Elevation Worship featuring Joel Barnes. Do well to listen and count your miracles as they come. Do not forget to follow us on Spotify and on every other listening platform. You can also connect with us on Twitter at the Making Musical Quantum Leaps podcast. And do not forget to share the link of this episode to as many people as you can. Like, if you know somebody that needs this, please share. Don't be selfish, in Jesus' name. Alright, we'll catch you tomorrow, same time here on Making Musical Quantum Leaps podcast. And I remain your co-host, Jamie, and from Coach Worship, it's bye for now.